I have been training for a marathon for the last 2.5 months. The marathon is in 2.5 weeks. I have been vlogging my training and some aspects of, my social life and my work life and that sort of stuff, and how I'm, I guess, managing that dynamic as I work towards my goal of a sub 4 hour marathon. And I've decided weekly vlogs are probably not for me as it pertains to marathon training. I find marathon training for me is a very consistent process. And what I mean by that is that I'm doing similar workouts week on week, every week for like 3 months. And that doesn't really change too much. There have been occasions where I've had to alter the workout because of, life and trips and that sort of stuff. But for the most part, most of the content stays the same. Most of my reflections, although they evolve with time and I have, become, and you can see this in the video, right? You can see these in the introspections, which is partly why I enjoyed making them, is that you can see the progress and my mindsets and how they change week on week. And that evolution, I think, is interesting to see. It's interesting for people to sort of understand that perspective of other people that may be doing similar things to you, or, you might never even have tried to train for a marathon, let alone a time goal, and, see people's perspective on that. But I've realized it's not for me. I realized there is too much tedium in the day-to-day consistency of marathon training, which probably isn't, it's not fun for me to, I guess, edit and watch myself, if that makes sense. I think when I'm going through the process week on week, every week, when the days don't change too much, it's hard to keep a fresh perspective and a fresh idea. I feel like I'm just keep repeating myself. I feel like nothing really changes in the training. Yes, my moods change, and because of that, my perspectives change, and that it could be an interesting thing to watch for a lot of people. I know sometimes it is for me as well. But for me, as someone who makes the content, I feel like at times I'm forcing myself, I'm willing myself to try to bring a different perspective, or at least add context, or like do more. And perhaps I have the wrong end of the stick, right? Maybe it's not about trying to keep a fresh perspective. Maybe it's you keep it natural, and that's what engages some people. But to me, I want my mindset to evolve through the process. And that can happen over time. There could be a stark contrast between the first week and the last week. But I've done this before. Like, it's not a novel thing that I'm doing. I know very much what I'm doing. I've done this a couple of times before. And because of that, I know what the process entails. It's not a novel thing that I'm working towards, at least for my sake. And I know a lot of people, sub 4 hour goal is not, I would say it's a good marathon time, but it's not, it's not upper echelon. It's not like I'm trying to get 2.5 hours or something. I'm not an elite. I'm not trying to get sub 3 hours, that sort of stuff. And to some people, 4 hours may be a good goal, right? Sub 4 hours may be a great goal. And it's interesting to see someone work towards it. But for me, seeing myself work towards it, it's very monotonous. And it's not exactly what I want to share, because there is no sub-context. And I think that's kind of what I've been missing. Maybe the marathon is not the main goal. And in fact, I know it's not the main goal. And the fact that I've been vlogging the training week on week with the main premise being the marathon, I think that's where the monotony comes from. I think that the context should be the whole life, right? It's everything that I'm doing. And the marathon is just one element of that. Right, it's one element as I move through time and develop myself out in various different dimensions. And one of those dimensions is the marathon training. I am not a professional athlete. I am not an excellent athlete. I am maybe a tiny bit above average just because of the volume that I'm doing right now and the volume that I've done over the years. And by virtue of that, maybe I should work in accordance with that. I created this channel to share reflections, to share ideas, to share perspectives that I have, and conversations that I've had, and things that I've taken from other places, and just giving my interpretation of them. And perhaps I should keep doing that, but not in the context of marathon training. I've made videos on, I've made talking head videos, I've made podcast style videos. I think I made one short movie style thing as well. I've done these vlogs now, and I've realized the vlogs are just not me. They're just not me. But that's okay. I feel like I can make other content as I go through time. A weekly cadence for vlogs is probably not for me. Maybe I can do once a month, where I kind of highlight the things that have evolved as I take the camera places and that sort of stuff and record it. But trying to capture monotony of day-to-day stuff, especially when week on week you're working towards the same goal, and there's not much room for novelty. There's not much room for spontaneous things to occur. It's just the same thing over and again, week on week on week on week. And sure, I have to manage the dynamic between, my like social life and private life and work life and that sort of stuff. And that's fine. But I think everyone has to do that. Like, that's part of everyone's repertoire. It's like you have a whole multi-dimensional life that needs to be managed. And I think this is what I enjoy more. It's the me trying the thing and reflecting on the process of the thing and then being able to move forward from that end. So, to conclude, the weekly vlogs are not for me. Maybe monthly vlogs are for me. Maybe bi-monthly vlogs are for me. I don't know yet. The point is, I know that weekly vlogs, especially for marathon training, is not for me. Because I was getting bored. And it wasn't sparking any creative juices. It just felt like a bit of a drag. And maybe that's just me. Maybe some people are more attuned to vlogging. Maybe people are way more engaged with their life and what's happening and the goals that they're sort of pursuing and that sort of stuff. And I feel like they can bring a spark to that, an interest to that. But I don't think I can, upon self-reflection. But I still want to keep making videos. I enjoy making videos. I've always enjoyed making videos. But I think the manner in which I do it is, still evolving. I'm still kind of finding my feet, and that's fine. It's been like a year and a half since I started, which isn't too long in the grand scheme of things. A lot of the big YouTubers have been around for like 10 years, 11 years. I'm only 10% of the way there, so I'm not in any hurry to kind of decide how we want to do this. But it's good to explore, and one at a time, realizing what's for you, what works, what doesn't work, and then going from that point forward. Yeah, I think that made sense. In any case, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.